Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3:01 p.m. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. Had some technical difficulties today, but I think they're all sorted out now, and it's time for another live stream here from Chicago. Today is Friday, January 22nd, 2021. How are you guys doing today? Today on the agenda, I've got a package from Believe in the Run. Here we go. Believe in the Run. There we go. It's in a Nike box, but it's not Nike stuff. So I think you guys... I think that I know what it is. It's what I hope it is, or what I think it is. I think you guys know what it is, but we'll open that for today. But before I do that, I do want to say hi to everyone listening on the audio only version of the live stream today. Hope you guys are having a good run, and everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact. Hope you enjoy today's festivities. I'd love to see you guys here live, but I understand that it doesn't work out time zone wise for everyone. So I appreciate you coming to check it out when you guys can. All right. Looks like Jana was here the earliest today. Wow, really early. She got here too early, but she did a nice and easy recovery run and got a 10K PR. Whoa, let's get the cowbell out for that one. She says she has no idea what happened there. Felt like she was going really slow. Wow. Well, that tells me then maybe you've got either one of two things. One, you paced it really well. And so you had a lot of reserves at the end because you didn't burn yourself out too fast, which is something that I do frequently at that distance. But the other thing is then, you might have more left in you. So, celebrate the PR for now, but I think there's more on the horizon for you. Awesome. Great work. Carlos says, hi, everybody, and asks, do I like the Carbon X2? Here's something that I'm really bummed out. And part of the reason why I was a little bit delayed because I got distracted. I totally flaked out today. I totally messed up. I got invited to go to a virtual press conference for the project, for the Carbon X2, the 100K race tomorrow. I guess races. So I was going to be able to go to that. There was a virtual press conference that I was getting ready for. I was going to go check it out. I might have even had an opportunity to ask. I was thinking it was probably be asking questions like indirectly, like just typing him into the chat, but at least an opportunity to like ask some questions to some of the Hoka athletes. I totally just flaked out about it. No good excuse at all. I'm like the worst at this. So I'm really bummed about it because I would have asked a whole bunch of questions about the Carbon X2. I still don't have it yet. It just recently got delivered to where we were in Iowa. My mother-in-law just sent it. One of the two shoes that arrived the day after my last day there, arrived, and that's that box I just showed you guys. The other one hasn't, so I'm hoping that it still shows up today. I'd like to go for a run in it tomorrow, but maybe I will not be able to do that. So we'll see whenever that arrives. Mark Saltzman says 3 p.m. is he late today? I was 3 p.m. is the normal time, but I was a little bit late getting everything started. Chris Dyke is here. He says, I'll be early. Why not? Congrats to Jana. Sounds like an upcoming cowbell. Yes, it was for sure. David Prabhu's here. JC. Good to see everybody again. Philip Bourne. Awesome. Chris Yao is here as well. And Innes says cowbell for Jana. Yes. Awesome. All right. Let's get to, let's do one more. JC did a track workout today and wore spikes for the first time ever. Oh, it was weird, but I liked it. And it seemed to help with running form. Anyone have spike experience? Well, that's cool. That's cool. Why for the first time today ever? I ran in spikes, in high school, middle school, high school, and in college too, but I haven't really felt compelled to put spikes on again. Since then, I think about it here and there, but I'm like, at no point is the workout that I'm doing really require spikes. It just seems like overkill. But I guess if I were to ever do a track event, like an event on the track, I would probably want to have spikes. So maybe in that case, I would look for it. But yeah, it does make you feel like you're on your toes really well. And they are fun to run in because they just latch right onto the track surface. And it's just so fun to run in. All right. Tony Bowen says, to Kofuzi or anyone else, would it be weird to go for an 80-minute half marathon in a non-plated shoe? Would I be giving up that much in time? I don't think so. If you look at what the elites and pros are doing, and that's a whole different universe, but they're all using plated shoes to go for their fastest times for racing. But I think that at the half marathon distance, at the same time, You can get a benefit from it, but do you need it? I'm not sure. I mean, for years, people ran half marathons not in carbon plated shoes, and they were running really, really fast times. So I don't think it's a requirement. I would probably do it because I have those available to me, but I wouldn't feel bad. I wouldn't feel like one must go out and get a plated shoe in order to be competitive. I mean, at 80 minutes, though, that's pretty speedy. So I feel like for someone that's running at that level, that's going to be a pretty nice boost for you. So I would consider it, but I don't think it's necessary. Sarah Mim says, I finally got a morning run in today during a workday. Awesome. Once you start figuring it out and getting it to work, oh, it's so nice. And then if you can make it a habit, it ends up pretty nice. Sarah says, I usually have morning calls, but didn't today, and love morning running best. So feel very blessed today for sure. What a great way to start a Friday and head into the weekend. Awesome. And Seth Paterka says, hello from Seattle. Just ready for the Chicago Marathon. Any predictions on the odds of the race actually happening? I can't give odds. If I had to bet today, I would say that it's not going to happen. That'd be my bet if I had to bet today. I think that a lot hopefully will happen and change in the next 5 months leading up to June, or whenever it is that they kind of have to make their decision. So far, I've seen a tentative schedule in terms of Chicago, like phase 2 for vaccinations, which would be people 16 to 64 years old with no underlying health conditions, like Gen Pop, I guess. That's supposed to start May 31st. So that'd be basically like June 1st. If that stays on schedule, or, I mean, if we get ahead of that schedule, then I think there's a strong chance that it might happen. The thing about the world, like the world major marathons, though, is that like you're inviting the world over, right? So it's not just like what's happening in the city. It's, are we willing to open up the city to the entire world? I guess the other way to look at it, though, is, I mean, are there really any places that are worse off than the U.S.? So, I mean, I guess it's a matter of, are people from all over the world willing to come here? But, there's a lot of risks that go with that. And it's a giant event with tons of spectators. I mean, I hope it goes, but right now we're still, Chicago, the city, is still under a stay-at-home advisory. It's not required to stay at home. We're not really under lockdown. The U.S. doesn't do lockdowns. But a stay-at-home advisory is like the closest that I think in 2021 that we'll get to that. And at the same time, like there's a battle going on with the city versus the teachers union about reopening schools. So we're still at that phase in terms of our progress here. So we'll see. Hopefully things will happen, but who knows? All right, let's get to this box. What's in the box? What's in the box? So, yes? What do I think is going to be in the box? I think shoes. What do you think is going to be in the box? My daughter's eating ice cream and watching Paw Patrol, and she's like me. If there's a box to be opened, she wants to get involved. She wants to know about it. All right. Sorry, it's really well taped. Okay. It's a blue box, craft tailored motion, tailored to the exacting needs of world champions. Oh, fancy. Oh, all right. Got to believe in the run card in here. Awesome. So if you're ever in Baltimore, hit us up for a run in the city. Definitely will do that. There's some lock laces in here. I don't know if those are intended for this shoe. Believe in the Run sticker. They do so good with their merch. And here is, what's this? A Run and Rabbit mask that's been included in here. That's nice. It's really lightweight. And it's got on the inside, it's also Run and Rabbit. Can you see that? There we go. There's that rabbit. Man, they throw all sorts of goodies in here. A pin. Here we go. A little safe, like a pin that you can pin on stuff. All right. On the inside of the box, I think we've seen all this stuff before, right? When we looked at Thomas doing the unboxing, it says this item is for the few, tailored to the exacting needs of world champions. I don't know how I got this, but well, it offers tenaciously tight fit. Tenaciously tight fit. It's a little bit intimidating. Exceptionally lightweight, unmatched aerodynamics, and maximum moisture transport. In this field of competitive ruthlessness, many are called, but only a few have what it takes. We congratulate you for making the cut. All right. Cool. All right, and here is the shoe. What? Look at this thing. This is incredible. There's so much stack height back here. It's hard to see because of all this camouflage, but there's a lot of stack height back here. And this thing in here is, how do they even get this in here? I feel like I'm going to destroy just the insert getting it out. But this upper material is super thin. It's incredible. But there's the shoe. Lots of tread on the bottom, on the outsole. Look at that. On the side, it says model. It says there's some information in here. Upper is 100% polyester ultra light mesh. The midsole is Craft Vault foam. Let's see, we get Vault foam. Designed and developed in Sweden. I just love this like like this zebra flage, but this is like a glitchy version of zebra print, you know? It's amazing. So this part back here is like solid construction, like a solid piece. It's not, doesn't seem to be breathable. Up here, it's all mesh. There's a little bit of reinforcement along the eyelets, and then one going across the toe, like over this way. It's hard, really hard to see, but there's some reinforcement there. Interesting. And look at how much space there is behind the shoe. So like, here's the end of the heel, and then there's a kick out over here. And then it kicks back really far. And back here, it's very hard to see, but there's a Craft logo right there too. Man, I mean, I just hope they release it when they release the shoe, that they release it like this. This is crazy. Let's get some comments in here. Jonna says, it's a Craft shoe. Seth got it too. Ah, nice. Awesome. I didn't know he got it. Very cool. And then he says, you need a zoot suit to go with the shoes? That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. Mark says, I wear those to the bar. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can wear these anywhere. I think. These look amazing. But yeah, they've got like a lot of grip on the bottom here. So I was really hoping to get these while I was still in Iowa and take these on the Heritage Trail. But I'm back here now. I think that with the conditions that are out there today was really icy along the path. So, you know, I'm definitely going to need some more grip. So that's cool. All right. And so there's an insert in here that talks about all the technology that's in here. So there's like a lot of information talking about the plate that's in here. It looks like it's one of those forked plates, kind of like, I think the Carbon X has something like that too. So here's the other one. Other shoe. This just absolutely beautiful. And very light. And check. Oh, this is amazing. This is a patch. Is this an iron-on? I think it is, because it's like, man, very cool. Amazing. I've got to go reach out to those guys now, Thomas and everyone else over at Believe in the Run, and see what they want to do in terms of the collab video for this. So, I mean, they sent me the shoe, so whatever they want to do, we'll do. But we'll definitely get out for a nice long run in these to put them through the paces. Ben says, I hope to fit extra tenacious. Yeah. Oh man. That's funny. I mean, I've not run in any other Craft shoes before. So I don't know. I won't be able to compare if the tenacity level has been increased compared to what Craft normally makes, but we'll have to see. Yeah. Scott does they don't want a pint of blood or a pound of flesh. Who knows? Teddy Man Tactical says their competitor will make a lion flaw shoes pattern to chase down the zebra. I get it. Yeah, Jody says definitely looks like it'd be good for trails and heel for downhill running. Yeah, I have a feeling like that's where we'll have to see. I'll get it out there. There are, areas where it's certainly not hilly here. I'm not going to try to convince anyone that it's hilly over by the lakefront, but it's not 100% pavement, and we will have some slippery conditions and stuff like that. So I'll be able to give it a decent test. So not exactly the test I was hoping for, but we'll put some miles in it and see how it does. Mark wants to know, is it going to be $200? That'll be tough to splurge. I'm not sure. I don't have any other data except what just came in the box. I haven't read across that sheet. It didn't look like there was any price specs or anything on that. So, yeah. Jason Dahl says, got a pair of those bad boys with old school NFL zebra print pants. Zubas? Oh, I loved Zubas. Those were amazing. I remember Zubas very well because Zubas were popular when the Giants won the Super Bowl. And so growing up in the East Coast, like everyone had Giants, Zubas, like zebra print everything in like red, white, and blue. So that's definitely like a pattern and a print that I definitely have strong memories for. Very funny. Yeah. Martha says, do the durometer test. Also, is it flexible at all? I don't know. There's like a very stiff piece of plastic in there, and I feel like I need to take some time to like really take it apart, like untie it and stuff. Let's see, to get it in there, because I can't tell. This thing is really snug in there. That tenaciousness, the tenacity of the fit is making it so it's hard to get this insert out of here. So like I'm defeated already. I mean, that's how you know I don't really belong in this shoe. I can't figure out how you even get the plastic out. All right, let's get this out of here. There we go. I don't have a durometer, so I can't test how stiff it is. But I mean, for a carbon-plated shoe, I can still kind of bend it. So that's interesting. So it'll be interesting to see if it's more of that smooth carbon, kind of like Meta Racer Carbon X, or if it's going to be, springy, powerful carbon, like an Endorphin Pro or Adios Pro or Alpha Fly. So that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, it's got some give to it. Torsionally, it does. It's got some movement, got some flex. So I think this will be really interesting to run in. I'm excited for it. And Frank does say it almost looks like a trail outsole. I think it kind of does. I feel like it looks kind of like a trail racer. It kind of looks like what Nike does to the shoes when they do give it the shield treatment. So my daughter just took the shoe and she's playing with it now. Here, I need that, please. But yeah, I also noticed that it's got a very sharp point in terms of like the toe, but like as far as like it being like a trail racer, it doesn't have like a toe cap in it. I'm not aware of it. I'll look further in the information that it has. I don't think it has like a rock plate, but it does have a carbon plate in it, which would serve similar function in terms of protection. But yeah, I mean, my eye draws to like the thickness of this stack height here, and then like this heel pattern in the back. That's like what's catching my eye right off the bat in terms of the shoe. But like, yeah, these colors, insanely good. Recycle on Wednesdays is back and says, nice to see the wall of art again. Yeah, we have like a blank spot here. So we'll need to get some of that filled up. What stack height do you think it has? Teddy Man wants to know. I'll have to reach out to Thomas and see if he knows that. Looks like the worldwide launch was January 21, at least according to the sheet in there. So can you get these now? I'm not sure. But we'll take a look at this. And I mean, the stack height's so tall, but like how far do you sit in there? I mean, it's got to be. I mean, we're looking at it seems to be like more than 20 millimeters in the forefoot just by eyeballing it. But and in the back, that's tall. It's tall back here. So it lends kind of away from it being a trail race shoe, but I don't know. I'll have to see. Andrew Tucker says, when I was a kid, I liked trail running and pretending I was a transformer. Trail running and pretending as a transformer? Like, do those things go together? Interesting. And yeah, Jay Pelican says there's a serious curve to the outsole near the toe. Yeah, for sure. Jennifer Herring says, wonder what Puma will be like. I'm an ASICS fan for 20 years now. Great question. The news broke today, or it seemed to break today, that Molly Seidel is signed with Puma. I don't know why, but I thought I knew that already. Because I was like, oh, Molly Seidel and Aisha Pratt-Lear, they're both going to be running with Puma. So like, why is everyone surprised about it today? Because like, I think Chris Chavez tweeted about it, and people were like, oh, I didn't even know she was looking for a new sponsor. Puma? And I was like, I thought I knew that. And I don't get that kind of information, like who's switching sponsorships. So maybe I just saw something on her Instagram or something like that. But I guess it's official. It's for real now. And I feel bad. I like broke this plastic thing. Anyway, but I'm just like, what is she gonna run in? So like all the people that have been like, how come you don't run in Puma shoes? This will be the year, because whatever she's like doing her daily training in, I want to check that out. Because before she was running in Triumphs, I remember she had posted like an Instagram story where she had like 4 really beat up pairs of Triumphs, and they just kept sending them to her. But like hers were all like just like covered in road dirt, and definitely had hundreds and hundreds of miles on each one. So she's been running in that like crazy. She's been running in the Endorphin Pro and the Endorphin Speed. Like, I just don't know what she replaces that with at Puma. I don't know. I mean, like, I think that, for the Pro, like, maybe the differences aren't as stark, because like the pros are people that can get away with running in basically a race flat. So like, I don't know what she's going to run in. I can't even name a single Puma shoe, so like, I mean, it's a big get for them. But it also makes me like, I don't know. I just like, why did she go with Puma? I mean, presumably the money's there. But like, why not continue on with Saucony? And or like, if not Saucony, why not New Balance, Nike, Adidas? I'm sure that they would have taken her as well, but I mean, I guess if like the terms weren't great, and she's got to like prove herself, I guess. Like, again, I don't know how you prove yourself again, but I don't know. Steven Gerger says, all the stack height means is more form to deform and mess up your foot landing. Smaller stack height means less deforming. The ground becomes your support. It's true. So that's why I'm like, people are like saying, like, is it a trail racing shoe? Is it like more of a crossover training shoe? Like, what is it? Well, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Brian Nee says, as far as Puma goes, Puma has the carbon plated shoe, the Deviate Nitro. Yeah, I've seen that. People were asking me if I was going to get into that, and I was like, nope, probably not. But we'll see. Yeah, Brennan says maybe it was the nostalgia. She had nostalgia for the Puma shoes she wore when she was like in grade school. Because I feel like nostalgia for her, I mean, she's quite a bit younger than I am, would have to, I mean, if I remember Puma from back when I was in high school, she was probably like my kid's age, So, I don't know. And Jennifer Herring says it's all new development. They said there's an article today. I'm gonna have to go check that out. Yeah, and Chris said I think Traxxas put out a vid a little while back about Molly. Maybe that's where I knew about it from. I'm not sure, but I definitely have seen something, and it was a while ago. I don't know. And Jody says we got to make Puma great again. Well, for the first time. Yeah, they got to do it. And Steven wants to know, do I really expect Puma to be any different than a wannabe Adidas? I feel like that would be a good model for them to follow in terms of being able to sell, like push units, rather than trying to go out and like be like the pro runners like brand. I think they need to be a people's brand first. So, I mean, I think that's what Adidas really does with a lot of its shoes that are, sometimes they're running inspired and sometimes they're actually like race ready, but they sell a lot of stuff in all the way in between. And so, I mean, that'd be great to see if Puma had some stuff. I mean, like, is 2021 going to be the year of the little guy? I mean, I guess I could put it in quotes, but like, I mean, I'm looking at a craft shoe right now And Reebok, I feel like I think been having good years, but everyone's been ignoring it, especially me. And not Jamie, that's for sure, but I have been. So maybe is this a year where people start paying attention to Reebok again? Is Puma become a player? I mean, Diodoro, they've been getting a lot of attention too. I mean, they've had a very successful marketing plan. Like they've executed that well. Whether they have good shoes, I don't know. But like, I don't know. I keep seeing shoes and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll try that one. So this could be the year of like, I never had this shoe before, but give it a shot. Ben Y says, I think that Puma offered her a big contract and Saucony wouldn't match it. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be disappointing. But on the other hand, I feel like if you're Molly Seidel, you know, from, not that I know her or anything, but like listening to a lot of her podcasts, you know, they stuck with her through some of her rougher years. And so I feel like, you know, I don't know how mad you could be if they wouldn't match it, depending on how crazy good the money is. But I don't know. We'll have to see how it all lands out. And then what was weird is I don't know what happened overnight with the Olympics, but like all of a sudden I kept seeing all these like running journalists talking about like, all right, well, we need to have like an American version of the Olympics, just give these athletes something to compete for. And maybe it's time to rethink the entire like contract negotiation structure and not make it Olympic based. And then like I woke up to those tweets and then on the news, I saw like a report, nope, Japan is not canceling the Olympics. So like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah. Martha says, the Diodoro looks fabulous. They get kudos for beautiful design. I think the rest of the review I saw was bad. I mean, that's what I worry about a lot of these shoes that are like coming out 2021, like coming out hard out of the gate, is that like these shoes are very interesting. And are they going to be any good? That's like the thing. Chris Dyke is saying, will Atreyu make a bigger splash this year? I don't know. We'll have to see. Because someone else said something, another update about pre-orders being available for the artist in case you missed the first round. Where did that go? Was that you, Chris, that said that? But that's something interesting because like that's a fun shoe to run in. Ben Y wants to know how many miles do I have on the Forever Float Ride Grow. I only had the 100, and then I gave them to my nephews. So hopefully they're wearing them because that was probably one of the best pairs of shoes. In that, from the perspective of something that either my 9-year-old nephew, who has a size 9, by the way, he's giant, or my 15-year-old nephew, who is like the smallest of the family, who I think he's also a size 9. So hopefully one of those two guys will wear it, if not to run in. I don't think either of them are runners, but they can at least enjoy the shoe. So that's what I'm hoping. Teddy Man Tactical says, do you have more thoughts on us using the New Balance Zante Pursuit? And what are your memories nowadays of the Zoom Fly flying it after all these years? I mean, the Zante Pursuit, it doesn't exist anymore. I don't think they updated it. It became, or the Tempo took over from it. But I feel like the Tempo lost some of the magic of the Zante Pursuit because the Zante Pursuit was such a thin midsole. The Tempo had a lot more midsole in it and a lot more weight, and it lost some of like the nimble or the agility to it. And so I just found it to be not as exciting of a shoe. I just think there's other more exciting shoes in the New Balance lineup that you would use in the situations that you use the Tempo. Basically, I'd use the Beacon instead for anything that I might use the Tempo. The Zante Pursuit, though, if you can still find them, I really liked it. It was a super comfortable knit upper, or like that stretchy material upper, very similar to like what's in like the Hyperion Tempo to cross brands. But I love that upper, and the outsole was that crystal rubber and a thin midsole. I thought it was like a perfect like gym treadmill, like that kind of shoe, something where like, you know, whatever surface you're running on, if that was going to give you a little bit of bounce. then that was a great shoe to pick up. So those are my thoughts on it. And for the Zoom Fly Flyknit, my thoughts on it was the longer I get away from that shoe, the more I seem to like it. So there's some nostalgia factor to it. It did give me some issues in terms of like my the pain I get under the balls of my feet sometimes with certain shoes. What kind of feels like a Morton's Neuroma. That one did flare it up from time to time. But otherwise, like I liked the way the React was on that. It was a little bit on the firm side, but it was a super thick stack height. The carbon fiber plate was really springy. And I just felt like it was a really powerful, long speed run shoe. So those are my thoughts on that. Stevie76 says, in terms of Saucony though, and Saucony and Molly Seidel, where's the loyalty? I mean, it's disappointing. I would have liked to have seen her like go to the dance with the date she came with, you know, that I think would have been nice. But, you know, running careers are so short as they are. And she had to, you know, do what she wanted to do. But I mean, if you think you got like this year, they picked up, you know, Olympic silver medalist, Sandy Cheeks, the pole vaulter. I know that's not her real name, but that's her Instagram handle. And they've got Aisha Protlier, who has been doing some really good training with was it Team Boss or whatever up in I think in Boulder, and Molly Seidel. I mean, those are three solid athletes to pick up, and I feel like they all have a lot of kind of like the energy that I think Puma could really tie into. So it makes a lot of sense to me for them to have those three athletes. Depending on, you know, what they got coming down the pike in terms of product. So they got to back it up. I know like Puma can bring the apparel, and that always looks good in a similar vein to Adidas, but can they deliver on the product is the thing. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I would have liked to have seen her compete in Saucony. I think like on the other hand, like if she had gone to Nike, I feel like that would have been like, that would have been weird. That wouldn't have felt like right. So I feel like I would have more problems with loyalty if she had gone over to Nike than if she had, then in terms of her going over to Puma. Maybe that's a double standard, but I don't know. That's just kind of my gut on that. Mode Idzam says, hey everyone from Malaysia. It's 5:30 a.m. Whoa, it's up early. You're up early. Thanks for joining in. Good to see you. Jay Pelicans of the Track Flow podcast talked about Tokyo. I'll have to check that out. There's been a lot of good podcast content that's been out lately. I keep seeing it on Instagram, and I'm like, oh man, I wish there was a better way. I mean, I guess probably the way to do that would be for me to just use Spotify for my podcast listening, but I don't. But like I see on Instagram stories all the time, like check out this podcast, or I see on Twitter. I just think I need a better way to like bookmark stuff that I want to read or listen to while I'm running, because otherwise I forget like the name of a podcast, and I'm like, I didn't even know this podcast existed. And they're interviewing Steven Seiler, like the exercise scientist. So I'm like, I want to listen to that. But yeah, this Track Flow podcast about Tokyo, I want to check that out too. Teddy Man Tactical says iHeart has the best podcast. Really? Scott says I'm this week's guest on Race Mob podcast. See, like there's no way for me to like click on that and like put it into a queue. Like at least with like YouTube videos, I do that all the time, where I'll just like, all right, someone like says like, hey, check out my video on this. I'm like, all right, I didn't even know you made videos, but I'll quick subscribe to it and then add that video to like my watch later list. So then eventually I'll get to it. I need something like that for podcasts. Frank says for Molly, she'll end up wearing Nikes in the Olympics anyway, right? She'll have Nike kit, so the race kit, but her shoes she can wear whatever she wants. I still think she gets to wear the shoes. Last Olympics, was it Emma Coburn who like kind of pissed off Nike a lot, because when she won, or did she win? She medaled, and she took off her spikes, her New Balance spikes, and like draped them over. She like tied them in the middle and draped them over her shoulder, and they covered like the Nike logo. And so like my understanding is there's these anecdotes about Nike people calling up very angrily to New Balance people about, you know, how they did them dirty. So yeah, you can wear the shoes that you're sponsored by. But for the Olympic, like the Team USA kit, like the warm-ups and like the race singlets, and I guess for women the buns, those are all going to be Nike, I believe. All right. Jana says, "Fake Doctors, Real Friends with Zach and Donald is the best podcast." Is that from Scrubs? Is that what I think it is? That'd be something that I need to check out. Jeans Rod said, "Give me a cheap alternative for the next percent." Cheap alternative. Well, I think the Audios Pro is cheaper, right? Isn't it? That'd be number one that I would look at. I'm assuming you're looking at for marathons and not, but maybe not half marathons. I mean, if you're looking at for half marathons, I think that opens up things a little bit more. But if you're looking at for marathons, I would say probably the Endorphin Speed is the one that I would look at, because that's $160. So I mean, like as far as like if someone's looking for a bargain racer, that's it. That's the one. Philip Joseph says, watching the 100-kilometer record temp. Yeah, I'll be checking in on it to watch it. I'm really bummed that I like just totally dropped the ball and didn't. I had a chance to go to the virtual press conference today. I got an invite for that, and they sent like individual links so they'll know that I wasn't there and I didn't log in. So it's like a double bummer. So there's that. They can't see you over there. Do you want to get in over here? You want to say hi? No. My daughter's here. She's done with school for the day and for the week, so she's pretty excited. Cameron McBride said, "I wish Molly success, TBH. I don't care much what brand she's rocking." I mean, for sure. I certainly wish her nothing but the best. Something that I've been meaning to do. I mean, I don't know if it would actually reach her, but like one. Please don't touch the camera. One thing that, so she's 9-year-old is bored on a Friday afternoon, so she's definitely gonna start antagonizing me. But when I was at the marathon trials, I got access to like the VIP tent somehow, and well, thanks to Polar. That's how I got it. So they gave me this ticket to get in there, and I'm waiting at this that last funnel, the chute that all the athletes have to run down as they're finishing, and I'm there. I get there real early to stake out a spot because I don't know how busy it's going to get. And I'm looking, and across the way is Molly Seidel's family. And so like I'm there, and I could tell who they are because they all look like carbon copies of each other. And so I'm like, oh, that's Molly Seidel's family. And so like they're there, and I'm seeing them, and they're like talking to each other about like the race footage, like they're seeing the race, as it's unfolding, and they're getting super excited. And so I have all these pictures of them. So I'm sure she might want those. So, and they were all like super excited. They're crying. They're like just super excited. So like, that day I became a Molly Seidel fan. So, and then I went home and learned even more about her. And I feel like she has a really tough story, like not a tough story in terms of like tough upbringing, but like she's shown a lot of resilience and toughness. And so it's been pretty impressive. So I wish her the best of success too, for sure. But like all this sponsor stuff is, I mean, it's where the athletes and the shoes intersect. So for me, that's like where I'm super interested in the sport. That's what I love about it. Teddy Man says, "Tell your daughter that Teddy has bought pink Adidas socks and matches pink Adidas Boston." Oh, that's a good combo. I didn't know Adidas made pink Adidas socks. Oh, I have to look for that. Gulshan Paul says, "Mike, you always mention your family. Could see them on a stream just to see what they look like." My wife doesn't really like to be on camera. The baby will kind of like make herself known when she's ready. And then my daughter, I asked her if she wanted to get on camera. She said she didn't want to. She just wants to kind of pick on me from the side. Stephen Wagner says, "If it's your first time in Chicago, where would be the best place to run first?" You know what? I don't know if Millennium Park is still open right now or if it's closed, but that's where like the bean or the sculpture known as Cloud Gate is. So I'd go run by that and then go run along the lakefront. So like go for any spot along the lakefront path that you can get to from where you are. If you're from downtown, and you're at a hotel, ask the front desk. They'll definitely tell you how to run there. and go either north or south. Either one's fine from downtown, and you're just going to have great views of the city. And I love it because you get that combination of like Midwest nature with the lake, and then like, an urban landscape from a city that loves architecture. And so it's just a great combination of those two things. So that's what I would do first. If you only had one place to go downtown. But Rats Chicago says 606 Trail, North Branch Trail, or Lakefront. Those are also great places to run. 606 is great. That tends to be more of like a locals spot for me, though. There's not as many tourists, but there's also a lot of people that are there, just like the Lakefront. But there's people that are there commuting. You'll see a lot more families there that are getting exercise out there together. So it's definitely, it's kind of like a High Line in other cities. And it has that vibe where it's just like a really great recreational trail. And the North Branch Trail, it's like, oh, am I still in the city here? It's nice. So it's nice. It's a good one. I definitely would like to blog more miles up on the North Branch. Jonatas Bordin Rodriguez says, I just ordered my Endorphin Pro. I'll try to use it only for speed work and want to use it in Ironman Brazil in May. Awesome. Good luck training for that. Ironman Brazil in May. How cold will that be? Because is that winter for you guys there then? I'm imagining that the temperatures are probably pretty moderate and good for an event like that. Yeah, Martha says, there's a great architecture boat tour of Chicago, but don't know if it runs in the winter. I think it normally does, depending on if the river is frozen or not, but it runs when it's really cold. My mom and dad loved that architecture boat tour. Like when my wife and I first moved up here, like my parents wanted to go on that architecture tour like every time they came up for like 3 or 4 trips. So like we went on it a whole bunch of times. But I love it. You learn so much about the architecture and you appreciate it from like, oh, these are buildings. Some of them are ugly. Some of them are pretty. You at least know why they're ugly and why they're pretty. And the people that run those tours are very knowledgeable. So you get a sense for just how much this city appreciates its architecture when you go on the tour. So I highly recommend. Oh, Mariel's here. She's a little late, but happy to join again. How are you? I'm doing good. How are you doing? I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you. Hope you're doing well. All right. Matt Selby says, Kofuzi, how much speed do you need to fully benefit from carbon-plated shoes, or does less speed benefit as much? I think that for most of the shoes that are out there, I think that a wide variety of skill levels will benefit from carbon-plated shoes. I don't know what you mean by fully benefit, but like a shoe like the Vaporfly 4%, or even the Next Percent or the Alphafly, I feel like pretty much every runner can benefit from it. The question becomes like, well, like, is it really worth it if like you like messed up your marathon training plan? Maybe you did like a couch to marathon and you really didn't pay attention to much of it, and all of a sudden it's marathon week. I guess you could go out and buy a pair of Vaporfly and that'll help you, but there were better ways to have spent like time and money for that kind of thing. So there's like that argument, but I feel like, every runner who has, dutifully or even reasonably completed their marathon training plan and has tried to make progress and has built some consistency when they get towards race day can benefit from shoes like that. Now, there's some shoes where I feel like you don't benefit as much at different skill levels. And that's not necessarily because of the skill level, it's because of the shoe. And so some of the shoes, I think the Endorphin Pro is like that. I don't know that I'm really benefiting. I think there's a lot more in the shoe that I'm not getting out of it because I don't think I'm pushing off hard enough. And then other shoes that I just feel like my gait and like what I want from a carbon plated shoe doesn't match with what the shoe's trying to deliver. So shoes like the Rocket X, I feel like other people might benefit more from it than I will. I've been using it as like a hard training day shoe, but I don't know if it's like my favorite marathon racer. So I would say for the major ones that are out there, the ones that people are talking about all the time, it's generally people of all. I don't think that it matters like for the most part, with this exception of some of those shoes that I mentioned. It's not about your speed, it's about your effort level. That makes like kind of activates the shoes. Jared Weber says, I tried some Jobber 75T. I hated them. All I could hear was my steps, body noise. Maybe they were rubbing on my ears. I don't know. Any recommendations on what to try next? Well, I would make sure that you have the noise cancellation, the pass-through audio part on. I would make sure you had that, because it sounds to me like you've had probably, there's some people that when they have something in their ear, structurally, like the vibrations kind of like resonate in you differently. It seems to be like a minority of the population, but not rare. So that's something that I would make sure that you maybe at least tried to turn on the pass-through audio to let it kind of vents the earbud in a way. And that's when I really like having those earbuds in from that whole series, from the Elite series. If you didn't like those, I would probably go with AirPods. Not AirPods Pro, but AirPods, because the way that those are designed with the hard plastic, it's not going to create a hard seal. And it's that hard seal that's bothering you. So I suspect that you probably have had the exact same issue with any other earbud that really requires, when the instructions are place them in the ear and twist. I suspect every other earbud that you've had like that also give you the same problems. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. That's kind of like my take on it. All right, let's get a couple more, and then we'll call it a day. All right. Teddy Man says, in my country, gyms were closed for 3 months and will open back beginning February. Imagine the queues on the first day. You think they'll be long, though? Because I feel like, like I was looking at, was it a tweet or was it her Instagram story? Lindsay Hine, the podcaster, she was saying that like in Indiana, and I'm not sure what's going on in Indiana. I mean, Mike Pence was the governor there. So to give some reference and background, but like in Indianapolis, she mentioned that like gyms are opening up, but that her husband also just bought like a treadmill for them. So like she's excited to not have to go to gyms again. So like, I don't know, like are people at this point used to like, I found my other way of finding fitness, or are there going to be long lines again? Like group fitness classes are resuming in Chicago. And so I mean, a lot of my Instagram feed is group fitness instructors from Chicago who are runners too. And so, or runners who are group fitness instructors. So like, it seems like people are really excited about it, but I might just have a skewed sample set. So who knows what the lines will be like on that first day. I feel like that's the one thing where I'd be like, I'm going to hang back and wait for like the initial enthusiasm to kind of peter out. And then maybe I would do it. But I don't know. I don't know if you've been dying to get back in there. And I know a lot of people have. I could see really wanting to get there. All right. Leona says, love seeing the lakefront on your vids again. Feel like we're back to, well, I'm glad. I've been, it's been really good to see the sunlight again. And something that I didn't realize is that, like we're about 200 miles like due east, but within the same time zone as where we were in Iowa. And so like the sunrise is a lot earlier. And also I think because I don't know, maybe because it's not hilly, it's just like I just seem to see much more light much earlier. And so that's also been nice. It's kind of like a mini daylight savings for me. I feel like the sunrise is like half an hour earlier and the light's just been brighter. I mean, I'm not trying to get like too sentimental about like, oh, the sunshine is brighter here. I'm not saying that, but it just seems like I've noticed that there's been from a video perspective, I'm like, oh, there's much more usable light earlier on in the run. So it's been nice on a lot of levels. And Ryan Clayton says, and we'll end with this one. I ran the lakefront when I was up there visiting to spectate the IT race in 2015. It was awesome. I loved that run. Very cool. Very cool, Ryan. And thanks for stopping by. Good to see you again. All right. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Tomorrow's video is going to be the New Balance Beacon 3 versus the New Balance 880 version 11. What's the difference? So I'm going to be talking about those two shoes. I ran in both of them each of them the past couple of days. So that video will be coming out hopefully in the morning, realistically more towards like late morning, maybe around lunchtime. And then we'll do another live stream, 3 p.m. right here on YouTube. Same time as today. Hopefully I'll see you then. But in the meantime, have a good Saturday long run, everybody. And I'll see you in the next one.